When I was a child, my parents used to take me on various educational trips. Usually from Baltimore, Maryland, we would drive south to Washington, D.C. However, one time we drove north to Philadelphia to see the famous Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell, which was commissioned in 1752, currently resides at the Independence National Historic Park. As my father pointed out to me then, and I have a much deeper appreciation for it now, is that on the Liberty Bell there is a quote from the Torah, and it is a quote from this week's parsha. It says, "Proclaim liberty throughout all the land and all its inhabitants thereof." The entire pasuk says, "V'kidashtem eishnas hachmishim shana ukurasem divar ba'aretz l'chol yoshveha yovel hiti alachem v'shavtem ish el achuz so v'ish el mishpachto tashuvu." The apostle is talking about Yovel, the Jubilee year, the 50th year, the culmination of the 7 cycles of the Shemitah year. And at the end of the Jubilee year, everyone is free. Proclaim liberty throughout the land. And everyone returns, Vishavtem ish el achuza, so that everyone returns back to their heritage. V'ish el mishpachto tashuvu. You might think it's strange. I did when I was a child. Why is there a quote from the Torah on the Liberty Bell? And what I realized more is that American history and America is deeply rooted in the Bible, in our Torah. In fact, almost every president, from President Washington to recently President Trump, Lincoln, JFK, LBJ, almost every single one in their inaugural speech quote a pasuk from the Torah. Most of them speak about liberty, they speak about kindness, justice, they speak about freedom. Rabbi Sachs calls it a covenant of the Jewish people. It's no surprise that on the Mayflower, they took a vote. What should be the language of our new land? They saw themselves like the Jewish people leaving Mitzrayim, leaving Egypt on the way to Israel. And they had Hebrew as one of the items on the multiple choice. Unfortunately, it was not taken. But what does it mean, freedom? What does proclaim liberty throughout the land mean? A quote from Viktor Frankl, the famous physician, Holocaust survivor, an incredible author who says, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstance, to choose one's own way." Viktor Frankl says, someone could be sitting in Auschwitz and be free, whereas someone could be sitting on the beach in the Bahamas and be a slave. Because it's not about the location in which one finds themselves in, but it's about the mindset that they deal with internally in that location. I know everyone is wondering and asking, what's going to be with the next academic school year? When are we starting? Are we opening? The simple answer is, we don't know. We haven't received guidelines from our state, and once we do, we will follow them. However, I can assure you that we are working round the clock, modeling every single scenario possible. What it will look like to have a virtual school, what it will look like to have a hybrid school, online and in person, what it will look like to have social distancing within our school, alternative days, alternative weeks, alternative AM, PM. Everything we are doing, we are leaving no stone unturned for us to figure out how we can open our doors and embrace, well, not physically embrace, that we know won't happen, but spiritually embrace every single student back to our campus. We are excited that so many families outside the state of Florida have watched our virtual tours online thanks to Dr. Amy Eskinos, and we look forward to welcoming you into our warrior family. For all of our current families that are still contemplating next year, I just want to say that we want you back here, and we will do what we can to welcome you back into our school. I want to say a special thank you to the entire faculty of Hebrew Academy. The teachers are working extra hard, the administration is working extra hard to provide that level of education. But you may not know that many of the maintenance staff are here every single day, volunteering and working to improve our campus, to welcome you back into our facility. The pasuk on the Liberty Bell ends, "Vishavtem ish el achuz so, v'ish el mishpachto tashuvu." That we should return ish el achuz so, that we should return to our heritage. V'ish al mishpachto tashuvu. And each person at the end of the Jubilee year, although we are not experiencing a Jubilee year right now, but at the end of it all, at the end of proclaiming liberty throughout the land, freedom throughout the land, when all is said and done, Vishavtem ish el achuzaso, we return back to our heritage. We return back to a Jewish day school. We return back to a school that provides Torah, Israel, Am Yisrael, to a school that at the end of the day is a family. Vishavtem ish el achuzaso, v'ish al mishpachto, that everyone returns to their family. We look forward to welcoming you back to Hebrew Academy. Go Warriors!